the right side, we have,
Hollow the Dawn.
and on the left side, we have.
Organic.
That
Yep.
had to be one of the most plain intros you've ever
Okay,
done
yeah,
in
because
life.
okay, Hollow the Dawn Dottie, the one and only, the one man pharmacy, Joe Clark, 'cause I got that lean on me. Hey, let you know they love that yellow skin when I pull up. Talk to me.
See how that was
I
entertaining
just
that was.
bet Organic King of the Dot. Put your money where your mouth is. You already know what it is. Hey.
we can hashtag all of those things
Yes.
and instantly get at least 20,000 more views. Thank you,
There we
fellas.
go.
Come on. Work with me here. Work. All right,
There we
so
go.
come on, man. You're one of the biggest promoters out here when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to this battle rap league. Your league is blowing up. It's pretty much established as one of the top tier leagues.
Yeah.
How do you decide which battles to go after? Because I don't think anybody saw necessarily putting Holla with Pat Stay.
I mean, Hollow vs. Pat was a battle that I've wanted to make happen for almost 7 years now. I just think stylistically they match up well together. They're both people that play downtime well, which I think a lot of battlers don't do well. When someone else is rapping and how they just carry their aura and composure, it kind of like takes away from the battler rapping at them. I think they're both good at that. They know how to mix comedy and aggressiveness. So it's really just kind of, comparing the rappers and seeing what kind of strengths they got that could bring out the strengths in the other battler. And sometimes matches that you don't think will work out well do work out well, and ones you think will work well don't. So it's really just a gamble. But, you try to put the battlers that people want to see against each other and, the skillful ones. So this battle specifically, but, I think it was just the right time to make it happen, and we were both just willing to do it. It wasn't too much, too elaborate or anything like that. We were both seeing things on the same page, and it was just the right time. So,
Okay. And Hollow, how do you heard what he said about a stylistic matchup? How do you get ready for a dude who many consider similar to what you do?
I try to stick to the game plan for the most part. I definitely check out his history. I already knew his history, but I just went back and checked it out again, just to get right. You know what I'm saying? But I always say I'm battling myself. That's my most important thing, is to do better than my last time they see me. So I always battle myself. I don't really battle people too much. I just battle myself and try to give my best every time. So that's the biggest battle to me.
Is it difficult trying to top what you did the last time? Like with especially when the competition seems to go up and down. Like you may body bag somebody, you may get a 2-1 on somebody, but it may have been close. How do you work with that? If your last battle was a sweep and it wasn't that hard, and now you're coming up against a guy like this.
Well, the only way my battle would be a body bag, because I try to battle people. Not even try. I only battle people that's competitive, and I think it's dope. So the only way I could body bag somebody if they didn't come with it. So if I body bag them, it's not me feeling like, oh, I just did super incredible. More than likely, it's that person slacking, because I'm always trying to do my best, I could possibly do. So, I just stay focused on the same task at hand, is to try to do my best every time I go up in there. And with Pat Stay, it's going to be no different. You know what I'm saying? I'm going in there to spank his ass.
Pause.
Yeah, you could pause that.
In your head, have you ever lost a battle?
Yeah, I lost the Arsenal. Some people call me a verb, like debatable. It's like one or two you could throw in there that you could say debatable or L. I'm a realist. Like, I'm not one of them people that feel, oh, I've never, I'm not trying to fool myself here. So, I've definitely, but the crazy part is, that was, them two battles I mentioned is 2008. So that was 8 years ago. So that says a lot, for a person that's come in and battled Loaded Lux and Clips, like the top dudes, and still hasn't had a clear loss. You could call it, but we know a clear loss when it's like Clips and Rex. You're like, oh, that's an embarrassment.
Right.
It's stuff like that. So I haven't had none of those, you know what I'm saying? And everybody's had that. You can, mention anybody that's had an off night and lost clearly,
Now you've been one of the rappers who has been very adamant about, I don't make records. Like, I'm not here to make records. I'm not trying to make an album, et cetera, et cetera. That's a different dynamic. Why is that? Why is that the philosophy? Let's start there.
The best way to answer that is to say every decision I make has several reasonings. So I probably could give you one reason now, but that won't be the only reason. But one of the main reasons is the business. If we was all sitting down like businessmen, just looking at charts, hip hop has been going down since like 2003 as far as sales and the money that's involved in it. So that was one of the reasons on the business side. Another reason was I felt like I wasn't putting my all into it with battle rap. I'm half-assing music out here. You know, while dudes is in the studio all night pulling all-nighters, I'm just trying to record records and put it out. Like, I'm not really doing this, so why am I playing with it? So I felt disrespectful kind of to the music. I didn't want to disrespect the art. You know what I'm saying? So I fell back from it, and I'm not saying I would never do music again. But as far as I'm doing this battle, and it's my main focus, and then my clothing line, it's like I can't put music. It's like having a side chick. You know, you never could treat her how you gonna treat wifey,
Right.
because you're spending most of your time on wifey. You can't give both of them chicks the same amount of attention equally. One's gonna feel. So that's how I felt with it. So I just put it to the back burner and focus on, my task at hand.
And the streak has been impressive since
Appreciate
2008.
that.
You put in that kind of work.
Yeah.
Do you feel disrespected when you see some of the more mainstream rappers now floating over into the battle world? Do you feel that same way? Like, yo, y'all are half-assing it. You just over here because it's popping now. And
I can't say I feel disrespected, because it's like when money comes into play, you can't really tell people what to do. They got to feed their family. Like, we could all sit here and say how much we care about the culture, but it's only a 1% in hip-hop that cares about the culture more than money. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody cares about the culture until they got to take a hit in their pocket.
right.
So I can't really knock them dudes. I can't say it was disrespectful to me personally, but it is disrespectful to the culture of battle rap. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not taking, and not just even the hip-hop artists, the top-tier cats that come in and they half-ass their performances because they feel like, oh, this guy ain't that good, then why you're battling them?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just disrespectful to themselves, really. If you want to be real, it's like you're putting your brand and your look on the line for money. Let's say you get $100,000. That's gonna be gone by a year and a half. That's not lifetime money. So you just risked your look for lifetime, your legacy for lifetime, just for a year's worth of money. So that's what some people do.
I thought even some of the people who have stepped in the realm to compete, it's been great it's been fairly good performances, and there's been like some real terrible ones.
Yeah.
Like I thought Fredro actually did
Fredro
pretty
did his
good
thing. Fredro did his thing.
Yeah, I agree.
for going, but I thought Keith, shit the bed.
Yeah.
I thought Cannabis, same thing. Like,
Yeah,
and he had some words there, but then he just kind of.
Yeah, it didn't work.
I don't know where it went. I don't know what happened. I thought
Cassidy
that was
did cool too. Cassidy did his thing on performance side. It was a few cats that came in and did their thing, but I don't think none of them. Like I said, same thing with me. They would probably have to stop making music and really focus on battle rap to be as good as us. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this ain't something you could just come in and just be the best at. Just
Right.
Yeah, like they can do good, but who can do great and be exceptional? Like, oh, we need to see him again. He's incredible.
I thought the biggest case of that, just from what you're explaining, was Joe Budden when you battled Joe.
Yeah.
I thought Joe actually was doing fairly well, but I thought it felt as if he was too into how he normally performs and not necessarily into how you're supposed to perform as a battle rapper. And I thought that kind of got away from him at the end.
He made a few mistakes. First, he grabbed the mic. That was his first mistake. Because that takes away from your performance, everything you're trying to do. And then his other mistake was letting the crowd get to him. This is we're used to it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's letting the crowd get to him to the point it's messing up what he's doing. And we just ignore it or we play off of it. You know what I'm saying? So he just made a few crucial mistakes in the ring, but he definitely had the potential to be dope. Like Joe was dope.
Rookie mistakes.
Yeah,
Like
just first time mistakes that you learn with a new experience.
Would you look to promote another mainstream against one of the top tier guys?
I mean, I guess it really depends on the mainstream artist and kind of where they're at mentally. We've done it in the past. We did it with the Cannabis thing, and that was just primarily based on the fact that, like, everywhere we went, everyone's like, yeah, you got good battlers, but they know Eminem or Cannabis, and everybody's seen footage of Eminem. Nobody's seen footage of Cannabis. We just heard how he battled Cassidy. He did this. So it was pretty much back then playing Mythbuster, and trying to see if the legend lives up to the myth. But
That's why I'm curious if you would do it again.
yeah, I don't know, man. To be honest with you, I'm someone I think the battlers have kind of worked hard to make battle rap what it is, and I think the money should stay within the battlers rather than paying some artist that's just going to come in here, pay them big bucks, and see them kind of not take it serious, and then have these people work to generate that money that's going to these people. You know what I mean? Because the scene's got the hype it is from the battlers that are in it right now, and the people working. So they're the ones that are generating the revenue to take what they're working and push it off to someone who really doesn't respect what we're doing or know what we're doing, and is just kind of coming in as maybe a way to get himself exposure or payday. You know, that's things I would look out for. I'm not ruling it out because there's certain people I think that are, you know, motivated to do it and are doing it for the right reasons. And those people I would, you know, I would contemplate doing it with. But for the most part, it'd be just checking where they're at mentally and going from there.
You're very much a purist when it comes to this specific league.
Yeah.
I think, which is admirable. It's the way a lot of people picture record labels to function. But you're really, if you're not here, then I don't really want to fuck with you like that. You know, you can stay over there. What do you think you need to do to move to the next level? Is there another level? Like, what do you have plans to do next?
I think just continuing what we're doing. I mean, battle rap has had this like slow incline up, you know, the popularity of hip hop, and it's something that's been around forever. You know, right now, as far as what we're doing, I think it's just moving in the right direction. I don't want to push it too fast, because when you push things too fast, you only break once, right? Once you break once into the mainstream, and if you don't capture it and captivate it, then you kind of lose the hype that was there. So I want to make sure that when we do break, we're kind of all ready to make that next step, have a plan to go forward and everything. But you know, there's a lot of ways I think we can improve. There's things every event you learn on things you can improve on and try to push it forward. But I think we're taking the right steps right now, doing stuff like this. And, you know, people like you providing a platform for us to kind of garnish more interest from people, the casual hip hop fan, and let them know that, you know, we're trying to keep things real. We're trying to keep it to the purest form of hip hop and everything, keep it to the lyrics and the creativity and everything like that. All respect to the people making the music, but this is what we're focused on, right?
Okay, so speaking of people who make music, your fellow Canuck just dropped an album.
Yep.
Keep my mouth shut about that.
No, I want to hear.
We'll get we'll but nah, it ain't even off camera. We can talk about it. But what I wanted to get at is he had a hands in your cookie jar for a second with that whole talk about him doing something with Mook, and then it just kind of vanished. It just kind of faded to the background. Do you have any insight on why that happened? So who do you look at now out here in the field who can take you to another level? Who would you have to prepare for crazy that you're looking forward to battling one day?
I damn near that's why I'm at the end of my road, because I damn near feel like I battled all them cats that took me to that level. You know, Lux, Clips. There's still like one or two names out there, but I really don't know, honestly. You know, I really feel like it's maybe one or two names, you know, that might could spark interest or get me to motivated to get out there. But for the most part, you know, a lot of cats, just how we say, uninspired, uncreative. They're just, you know, recycling these bars, using lines that's been used, just saying it in different ways. It's getting to the point now. It's like, you know, it's unimpressive. You know, so I'm definitely to maybe 2 battles left in the tank or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
That brings me to another point. Mainstream artists have this thing about retiring. A lot of them talk about, you know, I'm out, I'm done. I think Jay started it, you know, officially retiring. Not that he really ever did it, but officially retiring. What do you think, first of all, about mainstream artists retiring, and second of all, about battle rappers retiring? Does there come a point when you guys feel like you need to hang it up, or what? Just in your opinion specifically, and then I want to hear from on the same question.
Well, part one of the question, the mainstream artists retiring, I think it's just a market ploy. I mean, you see Floyd doing it right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, he claimed he retired 6 months later. You're 50-0 and TBE 50, and you know, so it's just a marketing ploy, in my opinion. Like, they know, you know, that's a great marketing ploy. Obviously, you know, people buy more when you come back.
Right.
And for battle rap, you can't retire. Ain't no pension. You know, so it's like, how you gonna retire from battle rap? You ain't made enough money. You're just leaving it. You can't even call it retire.
Right.
I'm just not gonna battle anymore.
Right.
You know, that's what you might as well say. Like, it's no retirement. You know what I'm saying? So.
What do you think about
I got the same view on it. I think a lot of the time when people say that retiring is pretty much a cop for attention. With battle rap, I feel like maybe they didn't get the love they wanted to in the last 1 or 2 battles, and they're kind of looking for that seek of approval of people wanting kind of testing the waters to see if people even still want them around. You know what I mean? People be like, oh, maybe I'm thinking of quitting. You kind of get the demand of like, oh, no, don't do it or something like that, which is an all right thing. But again, you know, retirement is a different word. You know, I think a lot of the hip hop community has the word retire kind of misconstrued or something like that. You know, retirement means like no longer dealing with it, walking away with it. You know, it's no longer in your life. You know what I mean? A lot of these people retire and they're at the next event doing interviews and everything and say, you didn't retire, you're just not battling.
Right.
You know, so I think retirement means taking yourself out the game. You know, and a lot of these people aren't taking themselves out of the game. So
Do you think people should?
at a certain point, you know, it depends what your goals are and everything. I feel like every person's brand is a little different and kind of what your goals are with that. If your plan is to develop hype in the battle rap to turn the momentum into music and everything, I think there's a point in time where you got to realize, okay, I've done what I can with battle rap. Let's see what I can do with music and vice versa, right? So,
Yeah, I don't believe in retirement for artists at all.
Yeah.
Under any circumstance.
I think being an artist is a creative thing. If you're gonna call yourself retiring, that means that you're turning the off switch on your artistic value of yourself. You know what I mean? Like you're no longer being creative, and you're turning that creativity of yourself completely off, shutting it out. So.
And I'm big on not making an announcement too. Like if you're gonna retire, let's say you feel that way, just go away. Like why do you have to make that announcement and let people know? They'll realize, you know.
But which brings us to another point. There are a lot of people in your lane specifically who are making music and doing it very well, who are capitalizing off the clever, the witty, you think what I mean? The thing that you thrive on when you're battling people. And they're right up your alley, dude. Bunch of light-skinned, witty motherfuckers out here just completely, totally. Check again. Look, all over the place. Every place I can, right? You know, from what I can see, totally. So, you know, between Chance the Rapper, between, you know, even the career that Joe has been able to maintain all these years, Drake, we're disappointed because he wasn't as creative as we know he can be, which means there's a lane for that now. The Forbes list came out and J. Cole was, you know, at the top of it. All light-skinned, all rappers, all witty, right in your lane. I think the time is open for you to, if you felt like doing that, we could probably switch that philosophy over and you could have a real run if you wanted to.
Yeah, like if that's my passion, I know 100% in my head, like if I didn't battle and I put all my marbles in the music, I could be, you know, in the same situation J. Cole's in right now. You know what I'm saying? I know that for sure I could. It's just about me putting 100% focus into that. And the reason I never could do that is because it wasn't monetizing. Right. You know what I'm saying? And the battle wasn't. I really had to focus. You know, we all got our real personal lives, bills, kids. So, you know, I had to really focus on that. So now now that I got my businesses going and stuff that where I'm making money behind the scenes, I'm going to try to focus on the music once I stop battling, you know, and put it out there. But, yeah, it's definitely it's room for everybody to eat. You know, it's all about just tapping in to that market and putting your all into it, you know, because so many cats want to eat off of stuff, but they don't want to put their all into it. They want to get put on. They want to meet somebody and get signed. They don't want to really, like, while they homies is going out there in the studio, you know what I'm saying, like passing up fun, and they don't really want it.
Right.
You know?
Was it something that you know that from experience?
Yeah, from experience. Facts.
Are you a dad?
Yeah. I got a son.
Do you ever think about having to explain the stuff that you say to your kids one of these days?
Yeah, no, clearly that's one of the reasons why I told you I got numerous reasons for stop doing music. That's another reason I stopped doing music, because I felt like the stuff I was talking about and promoting, I don't want to promote that no more. You know, I don't want to talk about materialistic stuff and drugs, you know what I'm saying? So I got to reinvent myself. So I'm also in that stage of reinventing myself, you know what I'm saying? Have some better content, because clearly it ain't like I regret it. You know, because I don't regret nothing I do. It made me who I am. But I'm definitely moving forward. Like, I'm not trying to put that out to the world. Because even if my son never watches my videos, I'm concerned with other youngins watching it now. You know what I'm saying? Because you realize that when you have your own. Right. Like how impressionable they are. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, all kids are like this.
And they hear you talking about lean.
Exactly.
And people using that against you in the battle. And now they want to see what it's like.
Exactly. I ran to a kid 3 days ago in Florida, and I was trying to talk to him because he said he popped a Percocet, and I'm sitting there like, bro, you're 17. Like, what are you doing popping pills? And he's like, Future said it. And I had to have a long talk with him. I'm like, Future doesn't even do drugs. You don't know this man's personal life. I'm pretty sure he doesn't. I could tell by the way I know people on Xanax and lean. They don't move how Future moves. He moves swift. Like you could tell, like Wayne is, he's on the drink. You know what I'm saying? But these kids is just so impressionable, so they need somebody, to talk to them or. So I feel like I'm more in that lane. You know what I'm saying? And dropping jewels and trying to talk about something rather than turn up, sibling, fuck hoes, Gucci belt, Louis shoes. You know.
That all sounded great.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that whole sentence sounded like New Year's. That was excellent. The last thing I wanted to hit y'all with was recently Pumpkinhead had a street dedicated to him.
Yeah, rest
April
in peace,
23rd.
PH.
Huge.
Out in Brooklyn, 5th and DeGraw. It actually it's now Robert P.H. Diaz
Crazy.
Way.
Yeah, amazing.
I just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on that.
It's amazing, I'm one of the people, I always said it, and I used to always say it to PH, man, like, I was like in the 8th grade walking to school bumping Brooklyn Academy, you know what I mean? Brooklyn Academy and the Arsonists were like the two real first underground hip-hop groups I ever got involved in, and like, being able to go watch PH perform back in like Ottawa back in like 2005 and stuff like that was crazy for me because like, man, I grew up watching this guy. So to be able to work with him on the battle rap and get to know him as the amazing person he was, and to see how many people he touched, and just seeing CNN recognize him as one of the top 150 people that passed, to seeing streets be named after him, it's a humbling feeling. It's like then that like even though we're in this like subculture of hip hop, which we all feel is looked down upon by the media, at the end of the day, there's people out there with hearts that see, this isn't just like the negative that people see. There's a lot of positive that comes in, and PH reflected that.
Yeah, no, that's a super, super on, and I actually got to go by there and definitely pay my respects. I know exactly what that's at. And, man, I was just kind of flabbergasted at the whole situation with PH, but that's real as it gets to me because, everything that we on this earth talking about and doing, it's cool, but when you're gone, nobody's talking about how many hoes you used to fuck, and we're not sitting here talking about, how many blunts PH smoked. We're talking about the legacy of Pumpkinhead PH, and he has a street named after him now, which is just amazing to me. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Team Hami, RP Pumpkinhead.
He really did his thing in the K, like when he came up to the league.
Oh yeah.
He went on one of the best streaks in King of the Die. He was 5-0 in his first 5 battles in King of the Die. He got a title shot and everything, and he was buzzing. Like he had a good little buzz in Toronto just from his music before. He was coming up here and packing shows, you know what I mean, just off his own name and everything. So he had a good buzz in Toronto.